Hey guys, how you doing today? Doing another wash the dishes video. That's a video where I wash my dishes and talk about politics, right? that's some homegrown Canadiana for you right there, right? It doesn't get much more low budget than Canadian. Yeah, me. Uh, the thing to talk about today, without a doubt, both the Liberals and the NDP have their conventions, right? Worth paying attention to and worth doing a larger meta commentary on both the Liberals and the NDP. Uh, just a brief touchdown on what's going on in the world, right, and how the society is looking. MNP, which is a bankruptcy organization, is reporting that 50% of Canadians, 50%, that's 1 in 2, that's half of the country, are $200 away from insolvency, right? This is a complete and total failure of the system that we live in. It means that we are a failed state. It means that we don't have financial security. It means that our economic policies and our economic ideas do not work. They are a failure. We need to move into something else. We need to make different decisions. We need to analyze the decisions that we have made. And we need to ask ourselves, why are we making such bad decisions? Why, for the last 40 years, have we followed and pursued this path that has obviously led to a complete and total failure? And it has. Like, it's just not arguable at this point. When half of your country, and like this idea that oh, these people just need to pull themselves up and work harder. Half the country, bro. Are you saying that literally 50% of the country are failing to pull themselves up by their bootstraps? Seems delusional. Seems extremely excruciatingly delusional to say these sorts of things out loud, let alone think them in your mind. If you guys are hearing any smacking and smirking around, it's because my little pug is walking around, right? Like, he's a beautiful little life form. So, while the country is collapsing, right? While the country is falling into financial ruin, let's be very specific when I say that. I mean the populace, right? There is a small group of corporate billionaires who are making gobs and gobs and gobs and gobs of money. Almost every dollar that Canadians have lost over the course of this pandemic has gone into the hands of the sociopathic oligarch class, right? The death cult that I talk about. The Conservatives have basically decided to become a death cult, right? They deny the existence of any problem whatsoever in terms of climate change. They deny climate change as a problem completely. So they're on this suicidal path to murder all of us, while simultaneously insisting and ensuring everyone that they'll eliminate all of the supports that are actually holding the society together at the moment, right? Like, this is a death cult. I've talked about it pretty widely in other videos, so I just am touching down on it here before I shift on over to the Liberals. So the Liberals during their convention, right? Their base has said, okay, basic income, go, right? We should have a basic income, which is great. It's great that people within the Liberal Party and the people who are part of the Liberal Party are saying we need to have some kind of stabilizing force that doesn't collapse us back into a neo-feudal or neoliberal capitalist model, right? Because we know that the neoliberal model fails, right? It's obvious. We've witnessed it. We've seen it. It is overt at this point. Like, I don't... Every so often somebody wanders into this channel and makes fun of me for using words like obvious and overt, but it is obvious and it is overt. And if you're not seeing it, it means your eyes are closed. Like, it means your eyes are closed. On purpose, probably. So, the Liberals are, at least the people in the Liberal Party, right, are putting forward a series of policy measures to rebuild a different form of economy, right? Starting with something like a basic income. Great idea, if you ask me. Really, I've been supporting the basic income for a long, long time. I don't think it's like a final, complete silver bullet type solution, but it is a necessary measure to pass. Like, I myself am a Marxist, a communist, right? The name of the channel is the Canadian Commie, right? And I make the statement that Oh, buddy. Sorry, guys. Forgot to take my dog's collar off. Oh, my God. He's a good boy. Click. There you go, buddy. There you go. He's just walking around my house wearing his collar, and he doesn't like that. Isn't that bad? Oh, goodness. So, if you're one of these people that duck out of these videos at this time, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Leave a like, leave a subscription. Thanks for coming out. So the Liberals, the issue with the Liberals is, of course, that we are in a period of time where we need to be building a non-capitalist society, right? We need to be getting away from capitalism. And the issue with liberals generally is that they are allied with the conservatives, the death cult that we've been talking about. They are allied with the conservatives in their complicity towards allowing the capitalist class to rule the nation, right? That liberals will stand up and say, like, yeah, gay people, right? Oh, yeah, gay rights and women's rights and indigenous rights and all these sorts of things, but you better go to work at 9 a.m., right? Like, they are not interested in tackling any economic issue whatsoever, which reflects in their convention where even the people are saying, oh, no, we don't want to raise taxes on the wealthy, right? We're not going to have, like, a capital gains tax. We're not going to have an inheritance tax, any of that kind of stuff. But we aren't sociopaths, right? So we want to have something like a basic income to act as a buffer for people who are $200 away from insolvency, which incidentally is half the country, right? So the issue, of course, with the liberals currently is that they are prolific liars, right? They've lied about basically everything that they have ever promised to do. Anybody remember electoral reform, right? Yeah, what a crock that was, right? Like, remember, oh yeah, we're gonna do green energy and like the climate, and oh, by the way, we're gonna buy pipelines, right? Like, liberals, in my view, like, I condemn the conservatives outright because they are a sociopathic death cult that is suicidally attempting to plunge us to our own destruction. But at least they're being honest about that, right? At least they're not like passing a resolution saying like, we support this, and then do the opposite of that, which is what the liberals do, right? And so in a type of way, the Liberal Party is worse than the Conservative Party. I say that all the time on this channel, right? Because at least the conservatives aren't lying about what their plan is, right? Their plan is to destroy the nation, abandon you, enslave you to a small group of billionaire oligarchs, cut your services, and generally make life worse for you. They're not lying about that, right? That's what they want to do. That's their goal. That's their endeavor, and they're very upfront about it. The liberals, on the other hand, will basically tell you everything you want to hear, right? They'll basically just tell you everything you want to hear so that you'll vote for them. And then when you do vote for them, they go, thanks for your vote. Oh, yeah, we can't see a path for that right now. You know, electoral reform, I guess. That was a good idea, but we looked at it and we saw that it wasn't going to benefit us directly, immediately. It wasn't going to make us $1 million right away. And so, no. Right? So, like, this is like Justin Trudeau is your, like, beautiful boyfriend who can't help but lie to you, right? Like, you just don't want this guy around anymore. Like, why is this guy around? He's not helping you. He's not interested in helping you. He's interested in making you believe that he's there to help you, right? He's interested in gaslighting you and consistently making you believe that he's interested in helping you. But he's not. He's completely not. He's completely just going to pilfer what he can from you, right? Go to brunch with his billionaire donor buddies, right? And probably have a good laugh about how gullible everybody is. Like, straight up. Okay, so then this takes us into the NDP. Now, the NDP platform, near as I can tell, is exactly the liberal platform, except they are like, yeah, tax the wealthy. The trouble with the NDP, as I see it, is that they are just another reformist organization, right? They're another organization that looks at capitalism and says, oh, this system just needs to be reformed. It doesn't need to be replaced. It doesn't need to be, we don't need to be skeptical towards it. We just need to do modest reforms. And so they'll pound on things. Like, they'll be like, liberals have been promising to do pharmacare for 20 years. We're going to do pharmacare, right? I'm like, okay, so basically taking a liberal platform and actually saying you'll do it. So in this way, just how the liberals say, vote for us, we're not conservative, the NDP are saying, vote for us, we're not liberal, right? The NDP also are saying, yeah, a basic income. Now, at the time of this recording, the NDP has not officially stamped or voted yes on the basic income, but if they don't, they're insane, right? They're insane. This is like a very popular, very crucial issue that should be passed and should happen. Like, without a doubt. I don't think it's debatable. And but the NDP position, like, yes, we should raise taxes on the wealthy. Yes, pass a basic income, pharmacare, all of these sorts of, like, liberal platform ideas, things that liberals have been saying the whole time, turns the NDP into just another capitalist reformist party, right? When what we need right now is not a reform of this capitalist system. Like, we need to be nationalizing large-scale institutions on a rapidly. Like, we need to be doing it very quickly. We need to be confronting climate change with, like, military force. We need to erect, like, an entire institution. An entire generation of people are going to need to be mobilized in order to actually confront this disease. Right? This disease. Like, climate change is a disease that we are inflicting on ourselves. We are doing it to ourselves. And we are not organizing ourselves. We are not getting together, and we are not doing anything about it. And when I take a look at the NDP platform, I'm like, this is weak tea. Right? It's weak tea. It's soft. Like, it's slightly more to the left of the liberal platform, right? It's slightly more to the left of it. But, like, we don't need reformists anymore, right? We need people who are coming in to replace the system, who are going to say to the oligarch class, your time is over, right? Your time is over. You had your chance, right? You decided to take the time that you were the ruling party in power and treat the populace as if we were to be robbed from, right? Like, that's all they've ever done, is they've stolen from us. They've stolen our time. They've stolen our resources. They've stolen everything from us. The millennial generation is like the tip of the spear. Take a look at what's going to happen to the next kids coming down. They're going to get completely abandoned. Like, wholesale, like, complete abandonment across the board. And we're just going to watch it happen, right? We're just going to watch it happen. While saying, oh yeah, all we got to do is reform this system, right? That's what we have to do, is just reform the system. Oh, well, we'll reform the system and then everything will be fine. Nope. That's what FDR did, right? That's what FDR did with the New Deal, right? The New Deal was a reform of capitalism. Did that work? Right? It worked for the time. It worked for the people at that moment. But then the capitalists did what capitalists do, which is regress the society back towards a neo-feudal state, right? Right? Like, that's what happened. And if we don't actually say out loud to each other consistently and constantly and agree and form ranks and actually vote along the lines of, no, capitalism needs to go. These assets need to be removed from these people's possession. They need to no longer be part of the national conversation in a meaningful way. Like, we're asking for such tepid things. Like, it's tepid what we're asking. Like, a $15 minimum wage? Are you kidding me? That's a joke. We should own the means of production. Like, a $15 minimum wage is like groveling. Like, please, sir, please may I have a survival wage for spending my entire life working in your institution. Please, sir, please let me survive. Nuts to that. These people are sociopaths. They need to be removed from power. Period. Like, they should have a vote like the rest of us, and that should be the end of their power, right? And I'm no longer... So, like, when I see an organization like the NDP standing up and saying, yeah, we're going to basically be orange liberals, right? And there's no guarantee that when they get into power, they're going to act any differently than liberals do. There's no guarantee that when they get into power, they're actually going to pass a basic income. There's no guarantee that when they get into power, they're actually going to do pharmacare. There's no guarantee of any of that, right? So in many ways, they are exactly just like another liberal party that's running the same grift that the liberals are running. Well, at least we're not to the right. At least we're not these right-wing liars, right? At least we're not these right-wing sociopaths, right? It's the same grift. It's just a different party with a different look. And so are we actually going to, like, do anything? Are we actually going to see anything? I do think at this stage in the game, like, given the people who we have to choose from, I think you have to vote NDP at this point if you want to maintain moral or intellectual credibility. Like, your options are a rapacious sociopath class hanging out on the far right, a group, and then slightly to the left of them, but still pretty far on the right, is a group of rapacious liars who know exactly what you want to hear, but have no intention of actually moving or mobilizing on any of the promises they make. And then slightly to the left of them, and still up for debate as to whether or not they're even on the left, are the NDP. And if those are the options, right? Because I don't think the Green Party is a legitimate party anymore. I could go into that if you want, but if those are the options, you have to vote NDP, right? You have, if only to tell the Conservative and the Liberal Party, you guys got to get your act together, right? You guys got to start actually acting like you're interested in governing. You guys got to actually start acting as though the will of the populace actually matters. You have to actually respond to what the populace is actually saying. Because right now they're not. And they're never going to, so long as we keep saying, oh, please, sir, can I have $15? Please, 50, please. I just like the most minor little thing. No. They are no longer to be part of the civil society because they're not interested in building a civil society. And that's where we begin. And also, I like to say that it's not a negotiation. If enough of us got together and said, goodbye, capitalists, they would go, right? But they spend billions of, just take a look at what happened in the Amazon Union thing, right? Amazon spent billions of dollars to gaslight these people and try to and make sure that the vote went their way. That's exactly what is going to happen to our society if we were to stand up and actually say what we should be saying, which is goodbye, capitalists. You are worthless. You provide no value whatsoever. You need to be gone from our society. And I don't hear the NDP say it. I'm not hearing the NDP say that, right? NDP's all like, the rich need to spend their fair share. No, the rich need to be gone. All right, guys, this is going to be the end of this video. Please, if you made it to this point, you gotta subscribe, right? You have to. Those are the rules of the internet. I don't make them up. I just enforce them. You guys are doing wonderfully out there. These guys, these rapacious sociopathic death cultists spend billions of dollars gaslighting you. Trying to convince you that you're worth less than what you are, trying to convince you that it's a big ask to be like, sir, please, $15 minimum wage, please, sir, the bare minimum, please. No, you're a divine being walking around the world. You've been sent here by the force of creation itself. And it wasn't so that you can work endlessly for some person you've never met who will abandon you the second it's profitable for them to do. Right? Good luck. We're going to need it.